Hey dolls and friends, welcome back and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. If you're new here, my name is Amber Michon and I do weekly farmhouse inspired DIYs using majority of Dollar Tree products or other affordable items. But if you're not new, hey doll, hey. In today's video, I have some really awesome DIYs for you. This is the first time that I have done some hot cocoa bar gingerbread themed DIYs, and I'm super excited about how they all turned out. I really love how they all turned out, and I'm excited to share it with you guys, and I really hope you do enjoy this video. Also, this video is in collaboration with a couple of my sweet dear friends here on YouTube. Jenny over at Lovely Moments Creating. I know most of you guys know her. She is such an amazing person and such a sweetheart. And then Adrienne over at Inspired by Adrienne Denise. She is equally talented and amazing, and I'm just so happy that YouTube brought our friendship together. So with that being said, I hope you guys do enjoy all of our videos. So make sure you head down to my description box below. I will have a link to their channels down there so you can check them out. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. For my first DIY, I'm making these mini rolling pins, and I really love them. So actually, I had a really sweet subscriber send me a pack of 5. So I'm using 3 in this video, and I'm going to use my crimson chalk paint color, and then I am going to use this dark walnut stain from Minwax. I actually really like it. This is my first time using it. So I just did the stain all over on one rolling pin and then painted one rolling pin all throughout with that crimson chalk paint color. And then for my third pin, I painted it white and then did the handles in that dark walnut stain. The next thing I did is I found these rub-on transfers at the Dollar Tree. I really like them. They're gold, but they're like have a brush like kind of font look to it. And then I'm also going to use 2 of these wood hearts. I got this from a pack of wood letters that I ordered from Amazon. They are in my Amazon store in my description box below. Absolutely love those letters, and they have these hearts, so I had to use them. So with the rub-on transfers, all you do is place them on there, scratch it on with your fingernail or a card or something, and it transfers over. And this is what the 2 look like. I put cakes and cocoa on 2 of the pins, and then I not hot glued. I used some super glue gel to adhere my hearts on the front of the words. I really love them. Then I used some baker's twine. I used this red and white baker's twine for my red rolling pin, and this brown and white baker's twine, both from the Dollar Tree, for my white and dark walnut stained rolling pin. And I really love them. I think they turned out so cute. Do you like them? You want more? Okay. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. For my next DIY, I'm making these gingerbread houses. So I have 2 of these wood houses that I actually picked up from Target's Dollar Spot. They were $3. It's paint your own, so it comes with some paint and a brush. But what I'm going to do is use my chocolate sprinkle acrylic paint from Apple Barrel and give each of these houses just one good coat. All it needed was one coat. I actually really like this color. It's this deep, rich, like brownie looking color. This is what they look like once I'm done. And then I'm just going to use a pencil to trace out like some windows and doors and stuff. I truly just freehand this, and this is the first time that I'll be using puff paint. I've never used it before, but since it's a gingerbread theme, I thought I'd, better try. So I actually got this puff paint from Walmart. It was only $1.08. So I kind of stocked up on a few things or a few colors. And then I took some red puff paint just to make some little other details around my houses after I made my windows and my doors. And then I decided to go on the roof of each of them and do some squiggly looking lines to make it look like snow had fallen on the roof. I really like how they turned out. It was actually a lot of fun to play with this puff paint and see what I could do. I thought it would be really runny, but it really isn't. Once you put it in whatever place that you put it, it stays pretty well. So get some if you haven't. But I really love how these turned out. Super adorable and great for a tier tray. Out on the beach without freezing.
Christmas times. We'll be chilling and
Next up, I have this hot cocoa sign. I have always wanted to make one of these. So from Dollar Tree, I have these little reception arrow signs. They usually have these year round. They have a bunch of them. So the first thing I did is just give this a paint coat of white just to cover everything up. And then I went back over it with my truffle chalk paint. You could skip the process of painting it over with white, but I really hate for my words to show through like of the original print, so I always try to take an additional like paint color to cover it up. Then I went to my Cricut and found this hot cocoa phrase in Design Space and just transferred that over onto my Expressions vinyl transfer sheet and smoothed that out on top of my sign. And then I took my finger sander to sand down my edges. Y'all know me, I gotta sand down somewhere. Like it was just looking too like one note for me, so I needed some dimension on it. I accidentally sanded down a little bit of the leg, so I just went back over with my truffle chalk paint to fix that. And that's it for this sign. Super easy, super quick, and really nice for your hot cocoa bar decor. Next up, I'm making this really adorable cocoa beaded tag is what I'm calling it. So I have an assortment of beads from Amazon. These are the smaller size beads. So they're not the 20 mm. They're like 8, 6, 12 or something like that. And then I have this tag sign that I actually picked up from Pop Shelf, but it was only $1. Now I'm using my crimson colored chalk paint as well as my truffle chalk paint, and I also used white. And I put them on my duct tape and started painting away. I used some chippy brushes, but I would caution against that because the paint just kind of gets really clunky. So just use a regular like small paintbrush for this. Then I painted the top of my tag red and then the outside rim of it with that truffle color chalk paint. Then I fished my beads through going white, brown, red, white, brown, red, and so on and so forth. Like I said, I have an assortment of smaller beads, so I was really excited just to kind of mix and match like the sizes and the colors. And I'm also using a threading needle to thread these through. This is my first time using it. I usually just use like tape, but this is so much easier. So if you want to spare that extra couple of dollars, get a pack of threading needles. It'll make your life a lot better if you aren't already doing it. But anyways, once everything was fished through, I just knotted it on one end twice, cut off the other end, fished it through the tag, and knotted that a couple more times and cut off the excess, and then cut off the excess on the other side. And then I cut out this hot cocoa weather phrase on my Cricut. This is actually regular removable white vinyl because I was originally just going to put the vinyl on the tag, but I've been loving doing stenciling lately and I really wanted it to have this painted weathered effect and look to it. So I decided to make it a stencil, and then I used this little oral swab brush that I got from Amazon in a pack of like 1,000. No, I'm just kidding. It's like 500. But anyways, I applied my white chalk paint over that and then weeded out everything once it was dry. And this tag sign is done. So adorable. I really love this, and it's going to look great on a tiered tray. Next up, I have this really pretty gingerbread sign. So from Dollar Tree, I have this ho 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 sign, and it's actually attached with the sawtooth hanger, so you can hang it up if you want. First thing I did is took a sanding block from the Dollar Tree to sand down all of the glitter and just a little bit of the image on top. Then I'm using my crimson chalk paint from Waverly again, and just going to paint all around the front of the sign. Then I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in white to paint around the rim of this sign. Next, I cut out a phrase, gingerbread bakery phrase or fresh gingerbread phrase from my Cricut once more, applied that on my transfer tape, then applied it to the front of my sign. You could totally leave it like this. It looks really good, very, very pretty, but y'all know I'm a little bit extra and I love my half wood beads. So I felt as though I needed a little bit more of a neutral color to break up the stark red. So I just put down my half wood beads on either side or both sides of my sign with some hot glue, and this is done. Super, super cute, so easy. If you don't have a Cricut, you can still freehand this if you want, trace it if you want. There's many other possibilities, but I really love this.
In Christmas times.
To take a moment out of this video just to say thank you to you all. I am going to start doing a subscriber shout out called Hey Doll Hey. So my first Hey Doll Hey subscriber shout out goes to Catherine Shed. She recently bought me a coffee, so I want to say Hey Doll Hey to you, Catherine. Thank you so much for your support, your kindness, and your love in supporting my channel. My second subscriber shout out goes to Shantira Franklin. She recently sent me some more Dollar Tree vinyl in the mail about a week ago, and I want to say thank you also, Shantira, for continuing to support my channel, but also your love and your kindness. If you are interested in sending me something, go down to my description box below. There you will find my P.O. box as well as the link to buy me a coffee. Alright dolls, let's go ahead and get back to the DIYs. Next up, I have this faux milk and chocolate glasses. This was my first time doing this and I was really excited about it. So from Dollar Tree, I found these milk glasses as well as this like oversized like glass coffee mug. So what I did was put a little bit of water in each of my glasses, and for my milk glass, I put some white acrylic paint in there. Acrylic paint definitely works better than chalk paint because it's a little bit more runny and thin. So I like swirled it around by just kind of turning my glass over itself and letting the paint run, and then put it upside down so that it would run down. I did the same thing with the hot cocoa mug. So one is going to be milk and the other one is going to be a hot cocoa mug. And I used my chocolate sprinkle acrylic paint. As I'm letting those sit and upside down and dry, I took this half dome fluoro foam. I got it from Walmart. It was 97 cents. And I took some of this caulk from the Dollar Tree and I just cut off the top, and then I started to just put it around the foam dome, like to make it look like it was whipped cream, basically. So I just kind of swirled it all the way around. And one of these caulk tubes made it all the way around. I was a little bit worried there for a second. It was getting a little dicey. I didn't know if I was going to cover it all, but I was able to cover it all. And then I'm using one of these craft cinnamon sticks that I got from Hobby Lobby in this pack. It was $1.50. And then I just kind of poked it through one side of my dome. After my glasses are dry, this is kind of what it looks like. I let my caulk dome dry overnight and then took it off of my paper and put it right on top of my chocolate mug. Now for my milk glasses, I have these 98-cent straws from Walmart. So I put some in the milk jar that was mostly full, and then wrapped some red and white baker's twine around the milk glass that was not all the way full, and adhered it down with some hot glue. And this is it with these three. I really love how these turned out. It was really fun to do, but it gives you an added filler in your tier tray decor. I really, really like them.
Chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring.
Next up, I'm making this gingerbread house display. So from Dollar Tree, I have this mini standing easel thingy. And then from Walmart, I have these gingerbread house ornaments. They were $1.98. So the first thing I did was sand down the front of this sign because it's really slick. So I wanted my paint to adhere better. Then I took my burnt umber acrylic paint and painted all of the wood areas. So that way I had a cohesive look to this piece. Then I painted my sign using my crimson chalk paint color, and I gave that 2 coats. Then I just start to remove my gingerbread houses and start to position them the way that I want. I really wanted to do this because we see a lot of like house scenes where the houses are like stacked together or like side by side or something like that. So I thought it would be really fun to take these mini houses and make their own little village on like a sign. So that's what I did, and just hot glued them to the front of this sign. Then I took my last little bit of brown and white baker's twine, wrapped that around the top, and adhered it with some hot glue. And that's it for this one. Super, super cute. I really love how this turned out, and it's just adorable. For the next DIY, I have this bakery tray. I've wanted to make this for a long time too. So from Dollar Tree, I have this silver serving tray that you can get in the party section, and I painted it white using my white chalk paint, and I did 2 coats. Then I took my finger sander and sanded down along the beaded area on the outside. And then I have a stencil for my Cricut that says "Made with Love, Gingerbread Bakery." I actually made this myself. It was not in Design Space, so I grouped all of the text together. So yeah, I really want to start making free printables for y'all. So I'm going to get on that because this was actually really fun to make this like image. So yeah, but then I painted it using my truffle chalk paint and then my crimson chalk paint in the areas that I wanted, and then weeded everything out. And that's it for this one. Super easy, 2 steps, y'all. And I have a really pretty tray.
Here we go. All right. Now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, dance, dance. Come on. We're gonna dance, dance.
Next up, I'm making these faux gingerbread cookies, and y'all, this one was really fun to make. So from Dollar Tree, I have these snowflake ornaments, and then from Michael's, I have these stocking ornaments. So I painted all of the ornaments using my chocolate sprinkle color. Like I said, I really like it. It's this deep chocolatey color, and actually I painted both sides of these ornaments so that I had that natural, real looking like cookie look. Then I took my puffy paint in white and just did dots all around for my snowflakes. And I also did red too. And then I outlined my stockings in white. Then I went back and just knew that I needed to do more. So I kind of colored in the stockings where it was red and white at the top. And I let it dry for a few hours. And this is how they all turned out. I think this is so adorable. It's really adorable in this tray, but I think it would look even better on like a raised glass like cloche. So cute, and I love how they turned out.
Have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring.
Next up, we are making this gingerbread wreath, and oh my goodness, love it. So from Dollar Tree, I have these foam sheets of gingerbread shapes. They're 12 piece, so I made 5 of them. So what I did is align these 2 of them up on top of each other and then started to hot glue them on the seams. Wanted to make sure that I got them as close to even as possible because we all know Dollar Tree products are not created equally. So as I was hot gluing it together, then I took some polyfill from just a pillow that I got from Walmart and started stuffing my gingerbread. I wanted to make sure that the legs were nice and stuffed in there because this foam sheet you can easily tear it trying to put your polyfill in there. So you got to be a little bit careful. I took a couple of my Cricut tools, this spatula specifically, to help me push all of my polyfill in. And then once I was done and was done with my opening, which was my head, I just closed it up with the hot glue. Now I'm using this red, white, and black puffy paint. and I did these like faux stitching around the edges. I did not want to figure out how to needle and thread this, so I just used the puffy paint to make it look that way, and then used the black for the face and the red for the little buttons, and let it dry for a few hours. This is what all of them look like once they are dry. And then I already had this black and white buffalo check wreath that I made like 2 years ago that's just been kind of sitting in my stash. So I decided that this was going to be a great vehicle for me to hot glue my gingerbreads on here. So I just adhered them with some hot glue on the feet and just went all the way around. Then I took this red and white and also black and white baker's twine from the Dollar Tree and Walmart and just made some bows for my gingerbreads and just cut them down. It was just a simple bow. And that's it for this one. These are so adorable. It's going to look great hanging up somewhere above your coffee bar, but it was so fun. And they're so cute. You cannot tell me these gingerbread men are not cute. They are. I know. All right, dolls, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that all of these DIYs made your eyes just as happy as they made mine. But if you did enjoy it, I would love if you gave me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you head down to my description box below where you will find Adrienne and Jenny's videos for this gingerbread hot cocoa collab. And also stay tuned for a little bit longer in the video. I'm going to show you how I styled everything in my tiered tray and what it will look like on your coffee bar area. All right, dolls, be blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.